Hello everyone again. Welcome to my, I think, 37 live stream. Sorry for not being there in the last 2 weekends, but yeah, there were other things to do. But yeah, here I am again. Hopefully we gonna cover today how to import data into Memgraph. I actually did that a couple of times already, but this time I'll try to cover everything in a polished way and try to cover many different options. Plus, I'm planning on finishing up, or actually refactoring, example streaming app to be more compatible with the Memgraph 2.0. So we added a couple of stuff, and the plan is to make example streaming app working with the latest version of Memograph. With slight refactoring can be done. Actually, we're gonna remove a bunch of code because now Memograph supports more things out of the box, and the application logic can be smaller and simpler. Yeah, as always, please like, share, subscribe if you like the content. If you want to stay notified, that means a lot to me. So yeah, please do that. What else? I think we're good for now. Let's get started. I'll switch to my screen here. So first of all, let's download the latest version of Memgraph. There is actually a complete new website, so I'll try to do that. So a week and a half ago, we actually did a big launch of Memgraph 2.0, and as a part of that, there is also a significant change on the web. So feel free to check it out. Web has a bunch of things explained, so why Memgraph, and a lot about product and how the whole product works. I can actually go through that at some point, but yeah, feel free to check it out, and yeah, give some feedback in any way through Discourse or Discord, and yeah, there are multiple ways of giving us feedback. That would be really appreciated. Okay, so let's go to download. I mean, I can go actually here, download for Linux. Yeah, but that's I actually want to download Docker, so I'll go. Yeah, we have some kind of a bug here. I'll go straight to the download page, and yeah, actually in the meantime we also published a small patch release with a couple of bug fixes and small improvements. So that's 2.0.1 version, and here I'll download Docker. So yeah, I need that download. So that's gonna take us some time, but yeah, since I'm downloading Docker directly from our website, I mean Docker image of Memgraph directly from our website, we also need, I can actually do full screen here, so that, and I can, hopefully this will be good. Yeah, since that, maybe I can go back with here. Yeah, let's do like this. All right, that's it. Docker images. So with Docker images, you can list all the versions of all images on the platform, on the PC. I have 2.0, but I actually didn't download here the latest version of Memgraph, so doing that right now. Yeah, it's downloaded. So once that's done, docker load -e, and then so docker load will load that image, and -e stands for image. downloads, and then Memgraph 2.1 Docker. So that will load Docker image. If we do Docker images again, we'll see here 2.0.1, and also the same image is tagged as latest, so we can use that to run Memgraph. All right. Since we'll do the import, I think we can actually reuse what I already did. Yeah, I did a lot of things here, so I have all these files here. So but yeah, let me do that again, all that again, because to avoid anything. So I'll delete rm minus rf delete. This is gonna delete the entire. Be careful with this command, but yeah, that's gonna delete the entire directory here. Okay, and then mkdir, let's say mg import, okay, and here we're gonna start new session. Sorry, this is a bit boilerplate, but yeah, we'll still do that. Hopefully everything is working. Yep. All right, new session mg import. All right, now I'm back in the seat. All right. Let's do here. We need to start Memgraph instance to start importing, but yeah, we're gonna do that a bit later. Let's check the docs pages. So I'll just go through the documentation, basically just record and stream whatever we have under documentation, because documentation should have all the options. So yeah, to import data, you can import data through CSV files. Memgraph has like load CSV command, load CSV query that can be used for that. Also, you can stream data from Kafka. We'll also add other data sources soon, but it's all about the streaming and how you can stream data in, how you can incrementally update your data set, and then run graph analytics on top of that. That's Memgraph is all about that, actually. But since there is also options to like import data from relational databases, we also have Mgmigrate tool. I'll try to cover that as well. I've actually recently I haven't been able to run Mgmigrate. That's another tool we have, but I'll try to do that and try to use Postgres for that, just to showcase like basic example. Of course, there can be the Mgmigrate could be used inside a complex import scenario, but yeah, we'll cover here basic stuff. Then also, actually, I think this option here is a recommended way. Import through Cypher queries as well, at least initially, because then you can have like a dataset in Cypher queries. It's quite portable between different versions of Memgraph, because Memgraph underlying implementation changes a lot, and then it's easier to use that as well to import data compared to, let's say, the last option here, the snapshot, because snapshot layout can change with different versions of Memgraph, or it's more likely to change with different versions of Memgraph. And then also from application, you can use the clients, both clients, to interact with database and import data. So I'll go with this order here on the side. So there is load CSV clause first. And yeah, I'll use that data which is mentioned here. Let's just go and start Memgraph now. Let's start doing actual thing now. So here we're gonna have code, here we're gonna have something, here we're gonna have Memgraph or debug. Okay. Okay. Docker run -it -rm. So this command here will run Memgraph in, let's say, interactive mode, but that will just dump logs in the terminal. -rm will clean up the container after we stop it, and then -p is port or publish. I'm not sure how is it actually defined. So 7687 is a default port where Memgraph is running, and this is internal port inside Docker container, and this here is a port on the host machine. So we'll be able to access Memgraph on the host throughout this port, or like from other hosts, but here we have just one machine, so that's all good. And then, yeah, we need Memgraph latest. And it's also wise to add here, since we are playing out with Memgraph, we're gonna add here log level equals debug, and also log to the error. Yeah, I think we are happy here. Let's run this. Boom. All right, here we have a couple of interesting things, because we also changed these logs. And also, just to comment on that, Memgraph is now packaged as one binary. So we have Memgraph, let's say, community features and Memgraph enterprise features. And for the community features, that works out of the box. For the enterprise features, there has to be a license key. And yeah, if you need some of these features, they're all listed in the documentation. Feel free to reach out, and yeah, we'll figure out the license key. That's about it. Memgraph is now up and running. That's great. And let's import some data in. To do so, we can use to actually, since we will have to execute some queries, we can do that in two ways. Like most easiest ways are Memgraph lab and mg console. Let's do that as well first. So I have the lab installed, but let's go to the website and let's go and download that as well. Download additional resources. Yeah, lab, download lab, OS Linux. Yeah, that's gonna download my lab. All right. So downloads. Yeah, we have a bunch of versions of Memgraph here. Memgraph lab. I think we have here show in folder. Yeah, we actually did 1.4 RC, but that was only like a testing version. Now we have 1.3.2. I'm not sure which version I have here. I think 1.4, but let's install that as well. Since that's a Debian package, we have to install it by running the following command. So sudo dpkg -e, and then downloads I think Memgraph lab 1.3.2 Debian. Oops. Yeah. Let me just run Memgraph lab to see which version I have. Yeah, I have that one. Who is having that lock. I don't understand why is that locked. All right, that's a slight problem, but let's try to resolve it. Okay. Some strange bug here. I have to kill that process, but what is? Okay, each stop. Let's check. I think this is the lock is held installed system.daily. I think this is kind of problem for some reason. Not sure why is that started. Sorry. Okay, maybe that. Yeah, for some reason that was some kind of a background process, so we just stopped and it was fine. Okay, now we have an issue here because we have the oldest version of Memgraph Lab. Trying to override, which is also in package Memgraph Lab desktop. Sudo apt purge Memgraph Lab desktop. Let's remove first the older version of Memgraph Lab. Sorry. All right. Let's try again. Unpacking Memgraph Lab, setting up Memgraph Lab. Okay, now that worked, which is nice. If we run now Memgraph Lab, boom. Okay, we have the right version. If we connect, yeah, we are connected to Memgraph. Great. Okay, what else? Okay, that's Memgraph Lab. Then we also have MG console. I'll also try to install that. We don't need this anymore. MG console. So the problem here is that we didn't put the Linux binary here, but we should put it here at some point. But what I'm gonna do, I'll download it from the source. Graph MG console. All right. SSH clone that. You can also use, that's like public, you can use HTTP as well, but I'll do that through SSH. So here, we're gonna clone MG console. Nice. MG console. I think we have that rise version to 1.1, get log. Yeah, that's the last version we have here. So that's the last commit. So to compile it, mk dir build build cmake. You need cmake to do that. Minus d cmake build type equals. You don't have to do this, but the produced binary is going to be optimized so for the speed. So it's advisable to do that in the regular case, in the regular usage case. All right, now we have to run cmake and make minus j8. That will use 8 threads, even though I have here 12. So I'll do 12. Let's make that. So that will compile mg console. You need like a regular Clang or GCC. I think anything above version 8 or 9 is going to work, which now should be a default on most Linux distros. And for Linux and Mac, you can download the binary from the web, so you don't have to do this at this point. We have the executable, and if I run sudo make install, that should install mgconsole under user bin mgconsole. All right, and if I go back, we don't need console. If I run console now, that should connect to Memgraph, and it's also version 1.1. Great, now we have the console interface to Memgraph, and also Memgraph lab is running here. Okay, let's go back to the import. Nice. Sorry. Docs. Let's check. Do we have some comments or something? Twitter, no. Facebook, no. Just a couple of likes. Thank you. LinkedIn. Yeah, also a couple of likes. Nice. All right. Let's go back. Import data, CSV close, Okay, with CSV header. So there are two options, with CSV header and without CSV header. So without CSV header, you just don't have a header as a first line in the file, and you can specify here no header as raw, and then you basically, raw is an array of data points from CSV, and you have to access it after in the query after with raw and then the indexing syntax. But I'll do with headers, and yeah, let's take this and copy that in a file. I think I'm gonna start a new directory here. Okay, this is like console, and then here mk dir load CSV, touch people nodes, that's one, and then people relationships, that's the second. So touch will just create another file on the file system, and then we're gonna add that vim people nodes, vim people relationships. Okay, I could have done this without the text editor, but yeah, now I have this problem. ID from ID2. All right. People nodes, get people relationships. We have now these two, which is great. And on a regular file system, if Memgraph is up and running locally, natively, then you can just run this command immediately after. But in this case, Docker is used, and we have to somehow move these files into the Docker container file system. We can mount volumes to achieve that, but I didn't do that. So I'm gonna use docker cp command to copy these files into the container, and then we'll be able to load them with the CSV, with the load CSV clause. So let's quickly do that. So here, docker ps will list all the containers, and I have magical Blackwell container here, and I have to docker cp people nodes into magical Blackwell people nodes.csv file. That will copy that file inside the container. And the same has to be done for edges. Relationships. CSV. Okay, now that's in the container. To validate that's the case, we can docker exec -it that container name and bash. That will place us in the container, and if we ls the root, then we got people nodes and people relationships, which is great. Now we can import these things. Let's go out from here and just go back to lab. So we can do that from the lab or from the console. Since this is a new installation of lab, we're gonna just skip the tutorial. We don't have anything here because I deleted everything, so I don't have the history anymore. Yeah, maybe I should have done the, yeah. I think we have to also improve that at some point, but anyway. Okay, let's run this query exactly like that. So people nodes, since we have these files on the root path, on the root, inside the root folder or inside the container, let's do this, and we have row ID, row name. This should be okay. The query is successfully executed. We have 5 nodes, which is great, and we can use the same from the mg console. So let's go into mg console and then run match n. That will match all the nodes inside the container, and then detach delete n. In this case we can do also delete because nodes don't have any edges, but still a detach delete is, let's say, a command to delete the entire dataset. If we run this, it's fine. It was a success. If we go back here into lab, yeah, 0 nodes are there. And then we can run a similar query. Here we have an issue. So if we copy the exact same thing here, I don't know actually how to go into the previous line. So it's kind of strange because we have to update. So I'll copy one by one at this point. Let's do this, and then let's copy this as well. Sorry, row nice. So we don't have that file, but we have this one. If we execute that, there are five nodes now, which is amazing. So I hope all is working. Yeah, quite good. All right, let's go back here, and we still have to update, we still have to import the relationships or edges. To do so, we have to run this query. Let's go to the lab because it's a bit easier. So in this particular case, we need to remove this again. So it says load CSV from people relationships with header as raw, and now we can access this data as a raw ID from, because in the dataset, in the file, we have ID from and ID to, and we match person 1, person 2, and then we create these is friends with relationships. Let's execute that with control enter. If you press control enter here, that's gonna execute a query. Yeah, it's not, because we have to add the slash here because it's in the root. Control enter here, boom. That is done, and we have now 5 edges as well. To see the actual graph, we can run match and R. These are NRM are arbitrary symbols. We can have here literally ABC. These are just variables that will match A, B, C, that will match a given value. So that will return all the pairs of 2 nodes A and C plus the relationship between them. We can also do, so we can run this, and that will give us the entire graph. But I think we can also do, let's say, path equals ABC, and then just return path. Yeah, that will be the same, because Memgraph Lab is actually rendering in the data. We have these path objects listed here, but Memgraph Lab renders these paths in the same way. So you basically don't notice a difference, but here, if we do A, B, C, we'll have these values, the exact nodes and the relationship listed. So yeah, basically that's a little bit off topic, but yeah, you can do these things with Memgraph Lab. All right, that's basically all about the CSV import. Of course, you can have more complex stuff and build many things with this. The good thing is about the load CSV is also that it's composable, so you can combine multiple clauses and multiple. You can, in a single query, you can combine some logic and maybe filter something out, or do some combination of clauses to achieve something. I don't know what's the import goal. Yeah, that's it. So there is also an option to run CSV import tool. Yeah, that's a bit more advanced. Basically, the idea here is to have, if you have a CSV in a given CSV format listed here in the Neo4j CSV format, then it's possible to import that file directly. So CSV import tool will create a snapshot on disk that Memgraph can load and use that data from the dataset. So here we have that format. So format is very similar to a regular, to any. I mean, it is a CSV, but it has a special header and data is organized in a special way. So basically you have to specify the ID of each node if you are importing nodes, and also when you have relationships, then you have to specify the start ID, end ID, and then what these IDs refer to. It's a bit specific, but still it's useful, and you can use that. Yeah, let's actually follow this on Linux. It's a bit easier to do that because you already have all these things on the same file system. But with Docker is a bit more complicated. So I'll go through this example and showcase all that. All right, I'll do the easiest example first. So people nodes, people relationships. Yeah, let's do here. Load CSV is done. Let's do mkdir import import CSV tool, CSV import tool, sorry, CSV import tool. This is, I'm showcasing now, this is an advanced option, but it still has some trade-offs. I would recommend doing other things, but if you really like this approach, then feel free to use it. It's okay. People nodes, people nodes.csv. That's it. And then we have people relationships. Start ID, end ID, person type. Yeah, that's all great. All right, and then, so just to explain what is going on here. This is a bit Docker specific, so we actually need a helper container because we need to create this named volume called mgimport, because we'll import that data by, so we have to put the CSV files in the container somehow, and then run mg CSV import tool to get the snapshot file, and then Memgraph will load that snapshot file later on. So yeah, let's just do that. In the first query, we'll just create that named volume. So yeah, BusyBox is just like a default Docker container, and we just imported that, and Docker ps. We just created named volume, and then that was deleted. Why? Yeah, we are now copying the things into that volume. Of course, I made a mistake. People relationships CSV. Okay, if I try now it's gonna work. And now we delete that helper container because we don't need it anymore. So we just copied these two files into that volume on the file system, and that's it. We can actually check that by running, I think, ls var docker varlib docker data. Yeah, because I'm not sudo bash will give me root access. We can go var lib docker. Here we have volumes, and we should have mg import. Is that the, yeah, yeah, mg import. So we have that named volume here, and if we go mg import data, we have these two files, people nodes and cat people relationships, listed here. So on Linux it works like that. On Windows and Mac it's slightly different, because Docker container is actually a real virtual machine. So there are different things on different operating systems, but should be similar, should be equivalent. I cannot cover that right now, but yeah, should be very similar. Anyway, we have now that available, and now we can just use mg import csv to create these things. But now here we're gonna actually create another named volume, mglib, and inside that mglib will place the actual sorry, I'm a bit confused, because we should have import data here. Yeah, okay. I think we I'm a bit confused. Let's try that out. If we copy that, try to run this command. Yeah, okay, good. That's actually on the import data path. So loading that file, we have varlib snapshot, and it's again under it's under varlib memgraph, but inside our mglib named volume. So we can check that by how to do that in the most efficient way. Sudo bash ls varlib docker volumes mglib data, and then here we have snapshots val. Okay. Under snapshots we have that file. We have that file, snapshot 24. Okay. Okay, and now Memgraph, if Memgraph will use that file, if Memgraph is executed by mounting, by doing this here, it should work. So we're gonna just start another Memgraph container here, since we have one already up and running on that port. But yeah, just put that container as -d. That's like a call, that's daemon. We'll mount that, plus we'll do 7688 to 7687. So that will load that will map port 7688 to 7687. Okay, if I now add latest, I won't add these flags now, because that should work. Docker run, we mounted that. Oh, actually, yeah, no. I'm gonna add that. Log level equals debug. Also log to std error. I'll do that because that will show us the logs from the recovery process. If I run that, no. Docker logs. So here we have the logs from that container, and yeah, we have recovering edge 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7, yeah, and then recovering vertices. So if we go back, disconnect from here and connect to 7688, yeah, now we don't have 5, 5, we have 5, 7, and we can run the same query again, and that will give us another graph loaded from that CSV, loaded by using CSV import tool. Nice. Okay, that's it about the CSV, but let's do some cleanup here. Docker ps, we don't need docker stop practical saha and docker rm practical. Okay, disconnect from here, connect back to our initial instance, which is here. Amazing. Okay, so we did that. Let's go back to the documentation. Now we have Kafka and Migrate SQL, but since these are more advanced options, I'll first do Cypher L. Cypher L is just stands for Cypher lines. So it means in each line you have a different Cypher command. And I'll just use this file, exactly the same. Touch mg console, CSV import tool, and Cypher L. What? Ah, sorry, mkdir Cypher L, Cypher L. Vim queries, we have that, copy that, go to insert mode, copy that. So now we have person ID, person name Daniel. Yeah, save that. Nice. And now we have multiple options here. So we can use mg console with the entry point. So mg console is also packaged inside Memgraph. So it's possible to use mg console inside Docker. You don't have to manually install mg console on the host, as I did a couple of minutes ago. And it's possible to use that. Just ensure that when you run that, I think here we are missing, yeah, on localhost, I think we are missing here the ---- network host flag, because you want to use this container to import data into another Memgraph container, which is on the same host, but that's not possible if you don't put them in the same Docker network. That's a bit advanced topic, so I won't cover that. Anyway, it's possible to use this as well, but for now I'll just use mg console that I have installed locally here. And since mg console also accepts commands from standard input, you can do stuff like this. So let's say echo match and detach the late n. That will echo that command on the standard output, and we can just pipe that into mg console, and that will delete the entire database. Let's go back. If we go back to lab, now here we have 5 nodes, 5 edges. If we execute that, we're gonna have at some point 0 nodes and 0 edges, because yeah, lab has to notice a difference. And then in a similar way, we can also, we are in the wrong, oh no, mg import. We can also do this. So instead of echoing, we can cat the file, cat the queries file, and then pipe it to the mg console. And that will also work. And in the lab, it will be immediately loaded. And to verify, we actually have again a different graph. So it's that dataset, exactly that dataset from that file, queries Cypher L. It's also possible to do this. So let's delete dataset again. This, and then mg console, and then redirect. I think just to be sure, yeah, mg console host, and then we just redirect that file, queries Cypher L. Boom. If we go back again, the whole dataset is there. So yeah, that's very flexible, because you can just dump these queries from your code, or I don't know, from some other system, and then you can use mg console to import the entire thing into Memgraph. So that can be like kind of interface between your some other program and Memgraph. These queries could be an interface. Just to mention here, we also have a tool called Memgraph GQL Alchemy, which is a very nice tool written in Python to run these queries in a nice way. So rather than doing, let's say, rather than writing these queries, you can have like a Python called Python functions and create all these things. And also, what is nice, there is transformations. So if you have a network X graph, I mean, that's kind of specific, but it's very general, because network X graph is a very popular thing to represent graphs. Then you can just pass network X graph here, and GQL Alchemy contains all the logic to dump Cypher queries out of the library or execute them directly against Memgraph. So NX to Cypher will just yield all the queries, while NX graph to Memgraph parallel will actually run queries against Memgraph in a parallel way. I mean, in a concurrent way, but yeah, it's gonna be faster than executing them one by one. Yeah, that's again a side note. That's again a side note, but yeah, let me check. Yeah, today I don't have many viewers. Yeah, I was not there for a couple of weeks, and yeah, traction is lost. That's all good. Anything else on the social? Yeah, that's kind of, I finish all these basic options. Now I will go into more advanced options. Yeah. All good. Nice. What else? All right. I covered that. Great. Let's go now to the migrate SQL. That could be fun. Let's try. So we have. So let me tell you the background story. At some point, we created this tool called Migrate, which essentially helps you to migrate data from relational data sources, relational databases. We don't have that binaries yet, but I'll try to migrate. I'll try to compile that from source and then run the whole thing. So here you have instructions for Windows, Mac, and all the operating systems. You can compile that for any operating system. I mean, for these most popular ones. Let me actually clone that as well. So I've maybe I once did this, so I'm not super skillful in this, so maybe there will be some issues, but let's try it out. Migrate, get clone, cloning migrate. Nice. Migrate. That thing's gonna compile in a similar way as anything else. Do I have to take care of some of these things? I hopefully not. Okay, mkdir build. Let's create the build directory. cd build cmake -d. This is a very common. So for all, let's say, Memograph projects on GitHub, since we are mostly C++, like the cmake is the way to go tool, and we are using cmake extensively. So command like this is used in like 90% of the cases. So yeah, it applies to almost every repository we have. I mean, it's not, we have Python and other stuff, Rust, but for the C++, that's the way to go. Build cmake. I mean, there are other options to do this, but I'll use this. Cmake build type equals release dot. It means that the source directory is one folder above, one directory above. Let's do this. Now we have an error. We actually have to install Postgres, which is fine. That's listed here. Since I'm gonna just do Postgres, I'll actually do pip install. Let's do this first. So sudo apt update. Let's do that. All right, and then sudo that. I think I have all these things. Yeah, great. I have to upgrade, but we'll do that some other time. Pip install this thing here. Yeah, let's do. Not sure why we installing that through pip, but yeah. Okay, we'll start the virtual environment here. Start virtual environment, activate virtual environment, and then pip install these two. Boom. Okay, that's some kind of an error. What's the problem here? pgconfig not found. If you prefer to avoid building from source, please install pip package instead. Yeah, let's do that. Binary. But I think we need that source because of the cmake. Okay, let's try to run cmake again. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's run it again to get that pgconfig executable not found. Fig executable not found. We just have to install something, but I'm not sure what. Ah, libpg dev on, yeah, great. So sudo apt install that thingy, yes. Maybe that's actually enough. Let's try to run cmake first. No. If I run pip with this again. All right. That's amazing. Let's try this. No. Uh-oh. PostgreSQL type include dir. Just a second. I think we need some kind of is in that. No. Not sure which package we need. Won't work on Ubuntu. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Server Postgres server dev all. Why do we need to do so? So I've installed libpq1. Wow. I've installed the first one. So let's install that as well. How big is that? Not that big. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, that has passed now, but I'm not sure. So we were missing the include library. Okay, let's, since we are here, I'll just update this documentation. I think here we are missing that. And also, but why pqdev didn't work? I think that's the only thing we need. Yeah, let's check actions here. I don't know. Let's check the actions. Ah. Here, yeah, we are using this, but on which? Services Postgres. On On which operating system? On Ubuntu 2004. Yeah, I should have. I have that as well. Not sure. Aha, but we actually fix pgconfig with this, and then the fix for the CMake was this. Okay, I'll just make a PR here, and then we'll later on figure out how to fix that. Okay, edit that. Let's go here. Just make this a bit bigger. So, can I make the PR here? Commit, create new branch. Yeah, that's what we need. Let's on Debian Ubuntu. We have Linux instructions. I think this is missing here. So that and that. That's for Postgres, and for Fedora. So we have also this thing here. I mean, I won't obviously test that right now, but still, yeah. Fedora here, we need this package. All right, update readme with a Linux system dependencies. Okay, this put a sysdeps. Okay, can I have the preview? Yeah, I've added these things. Yeah, good. Okay, propose changes. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Create pull request. Yeah. Create pull request. Yep. All right. Okay. That was again a bit off topic, but we did something productive, which is great. Okay. We have now that. All right. Let's go back to the continuous integration file. We have that. Doesn't matter. We run this. We'll just run make -j 12. Hopefully this is going to work. So we're now actually compiling mgmigrate. In the future, that should be simplified by we should provide binaries, but that will come at some point. At this point, we have to compile it in order to execute it. Of course, mgmigrate is coming within Memgraph Docker image, but yeah, if that's the case, if you want to use Docker, and it's a bit harder to use it because you have to think about all of that. Yeah, sorry for the huge output. Hopefully it's going to be good. Let's check. Social. nothing much in the meantime. Pass. Boom. Okay, we have the migrate binary, and we can install it. I have some issues. I have some issues with my internet connection. Oh, we are back, I think. We are back. Hopefully this is fine. Yeah, thanks to my Blackmagic 8M Mini Pro, the stream gets cached, and then I think from the viewer perspective, I think we should be fine. But yeah, okay. Nice. Okay. Let's go back here. So mgmigrate is compiled. Let's install it by executing sudo make install. Now CMake is checking stuff, but we have mgmigrate. If we run, okay, let's do another one. So here we have Memgraph up and running, and here we have mgmigrate --version. We don't have version. Yeah, okay, that's also something to update. Let's go back here and create an issue. Really quick new issue. Fix --version mg migrate --version returns. I really like this because I can actually make some productive things as well while I'm streaming. That's, I think, really valuable. Returns mg just mg migrate. Okay. Nice. Submit new issue. Boom. All right. Great. Let's go back. Oh, I totally forgot. Now it's 1 hour in. I need some help from my friend C-Duck. Yeah. All right. I totally forgot to put it here. Anyway, I hope you don't mind. All right. Let's go back to documentation. Documentation. Now we installed. We actually need to have a Postgres. So I'll use Postgres for this. So I need to set up somehow the instance with these two tables. This first will work with database contains two tables, users and users relationships. Nice, but I'll use the continuous integration setup again, just to initialize the thing. Where is that? We have to update all of that. Yeah. Exec memgraph source. Test Postgres. Test end-to-end Postgres. Oh, we have a Python script for that. What? Okay, let's check that. Migrate tests end-to-end. Postgres end-to-end. Nope. Sorry. We're close. CI. We just Postgres password. Ports name Postgres. Okay. Postgres version 13. Which Postgres do we have? I think I've installed. No. Bin. I haven't. But yeah, which version I've installed? List. I think yeah, we used 12. To compile the thing. But okay, let's try with 13 and then we'll see. Postgres port 5432 name Postgres. So yeah, to run Postgres, let's do another docker run -d -p 5432. So we're just running Postgres. Postgres password. That's environment. That's done by -e and then equals. What else? Name Postgres. Let's do that as well. And then Postgres 13.3. Docker run -d -p -e Postgres name Postgres. Yeah, boom. That should work. We are now pulling Postgres. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, there is that Python script that does set up Postgres, docker exec Postgres, Postgres username -d. Here we have queries. All right. Docker ps. So we have Postgres here up and running, which is nice. And we have to import that data somehow. Let's try and run. Docker exec -e Postgres PSQL -u. The username is probably Postgres, and then Postgres host. Postgres. That's, I think, even by default. Can we use that somehow to import this data? Maybe we should add IMDb. Yeah, we have that as a data set, but we should also have that small thing. What to do on that side? Let's try. Okay, let's try. Postgres PSQL. What's gonna do here? Root does not exist. Yeah. -u. Postgres minus. Let's try and Postgres is by default. Sorry. Tests and then sorry, I'm spending way too much time on this, but we'll figure this out. -u. That's, I think, it. Yeah. Okay. Now we are in the database. Okay, I think it's -l. Yeah, we have these two tables. I mean, we have these couple of tables, but let's create user DB. Yeah, I think we should add these things as a data set, but yeah. Create database Postgres. Let's just create database. Yeah, create user DB. Okay, if I do L \L, I have user DB, and then select. I think we have to select database. Sorry for not knowing these commands. Select Postgres L C, yeah, connect -c users DB. I'm not using Postgres every day, so I don't know exactly, but yeah. Okay, we are now in that database users DB, and if we do select star from what users DB, oh sorry, from users we have to create these tables. Sorry. Just to know, create table name, create table, and then we have these types. Okay, but should be fast. Create table, column, data type. What do we have here? ID integer and name. ID in name. ID int primary. We need these two. Table users. ID. ID int primary. Sure, if we need that key. And then name text. All right. Select users ID name. Great. Great. And if we now we need the relationship table as well. That's like user1, user2. And to do so, we have to. Now this is a bit how to start using Postgres tutorial, but still, I will get through that quickly. So create table. What's this user? Let's not fail here. Create table. So that's ID. I think we need to also create these users one. User one. Type of that is int. User 2 is int as well. Yeah. From user 1, user 2. Yeah. I think we also need to set up these foreign keys. But yeah. We'll get to that. Let's just import data first. So to import data into here, insert query, insert into column values. So insert into column values users. Now we need columns ID name, and then values are the one here, 0, 1, 2, and Josh, Lisa, Troy. 0. I think this is bad. Yeah. Select. Yeah. Okay. And John. And John, Lisa. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we'll just create a different insert into user relationships. What we have user 1, user 2 values. So 0, 1, 1, 2, and 2, 2, 0. So if we select all from user relationships, yeah, we have that graph. So it should be a triangle. All people, all users should be connected to all of them. All right, we have the initial data set. Let's try to migrate that from Postgres to Memgraph. Let's run here. All right, this is now empty. Okay, migrate is actually on the 4. Postgres is here, migrate is here, Memgraph is here. 3, Memgraph 4. Okay, mg. Now let's go back to this thing here. Mg migrate Postgres, la la la. Source Postgres, host port, Postgres, users DB is the database, and then our destination is Memgraph. Boom. Let's copy this part and let's try it and execute that. Poof. All right, that failed. Check failed. Source database. Aha. Ah. I'm not sure why this doesn't work, but anyway, we're gonna put that into a single line. All right, now we have a single command. Boom. All right. What did happen here? Nothing. Do I have something inside Memgraph? Ooh, 6 nodes. Why 6 nodes? Aha. Ah, I know. I think I know what happened. No, nothing is here. And return n. Yep. So we actually have John user. That's fine. But yeah, we treated the user relationships as another node, which is not correct. Because I think we need to set up these foreign keys first. Okay, Postgres set foreign key. Yeah, I think we'll need to do alter table or something. Foreign key, customer ID. References, customer ID. Aha, Postgres alter table. Foreign key. Yeah, that one. Alter table. Can I alter table name action and action alter column set default set foreign? Where is add constraint? Yeah, need this match full. Not sure what is match full, but still okay. Let's go here. We need alter table user ships relationship add constraint connect foreign key user 1 references users, no, users ID. Okay, and user 2 connect to users ID. Okay. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, let's try list Postgres table layout. Show tables, describe table. Okay. The silly mistake with okay. We have the table and it says referenced by users relationships connect foreign key la la la. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let's go back to lab and let's run the detach query. Nothing is there, and let's do the migrate again. So migrate. Okay, we're done. Boom, success. Okay, now we have these things here. If I run this, yeah. So we have John, Lisa, and Anne, and we have user relationships. It just takes the table name for the edge type, which is, I think, reasonable. Okay, that's what it takes to import data from our relational database. So this is a huge hack, but I did like almost everything from setting Postgres, creating the layout, and then updating data inside. I mean, adding data inside. Plus, it was also like running the mgmigrate, actually before that compiling it and all these things. Yeah, I think we recently published, so we don't need this. I think we recently published mgmigrate. So yeah, feel free to post a PR or any type of issue specifying the exact stuff. I think this tool has a lot of potential in general. A lot of things could be added here, at least to migrate and add data in the first place. All right, let me check a bit again, comments. Nothing much. I'm a bit lonely today. Please come and join. All right. Okay, I'll do Kafka, then I'll make a coffee, and then we go and refactor the code. What else? What else? Just a second. All right. right. Let's go back. So what else do we have? So we did a lot of things. We did this, we did this, we did this, we did CSV, Kafka. All right. I'll do Kafka plus basic JSON again. So to do Kafka, we need a couple of things. We need Kafka, then we have to post messages there, and then we need the transform script from Memgraph. So what's the right order here? Start Memgraph Kafka. Yeah. I'll actually start. I'll start using the example streaming app. So streaming, Memgraph, it's all about streaming. So let's get Kafka up and running first, and then we can talk about the rest. Use this template. No, we don't want to use this as a template for now, even though that's also convenient. Okay, let's do streams. All right. But since let's do all from scratch. Example streaming app. We delete that repo and we make the clone again. Git clone example streaming app. Boom. All right. Example streaming app. Nice. Get log. What we did last, we added Rust. That's fine, but we don't need this at this point. We need Kafka. Run minus help. Oh, that's another bug. It's a problem because we run help and then the whole thing start cloning Kafka, because not just Kafka, it's also about setup in Kafka. All right, we'll go back, we'll detach from here and we'll go back to the another repository. Code example streaming app. Yeah, tmux new session minus example stream. We are here now. Let's create a couple of these. So the first thing that needs to be fixed, NeoVim README. The first thing is Kafka run script. So help and exit. What? Is not equal 1. This thing passed here, which is wrong. Okay. Yeah, no, this is compiling. Yeah, but that's fine. Until that is, we still have to run that until that's getting executed. I think we can fix here. So if not equal 1, Yeah, this is obviously wrong. Because if it's equal 1 and it's help, or if it's not these things, then it should skip. How to fix that in the best way? No idea at this point. Maybe we need bash array and then in. Yeah, for now let's just do or. One equal minus h, or even though this is not a great fix, but just to have or. Alright, Kafka. I always forget this bash or. Yeah, that's it. Why? I think I shouldn't need. Did I miss something? Integer expression. Why? This is not okay. Integer expression expected. What if I put equal? If I do blah blah. Okay, anyway, let's use this for now. Okay, now we have Kafka ready, and we should be able to start run Zookeeper. Yeah, now this is a bit strange. Okay, let's not do this because we have to. Let's completely close this and let's go here because we're gonna continue the work here. So run Zookeeper. let's see, run Kafka. No. Close this window, we go here. We start Kafka, we start run producer. CD Kafka run producer. Okay, test. Consumer should get that. Yeah, okay. We have Kafka which is up and running, and let's do this a little bit smaller because it's really huge. So okay, that's about that. So we have Kafka. Kafka is up and running, but we need that transform script into Memgraph. Let's go to the documentation. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Close without saving, and we need Kafka stream. Kafka, import data, transformation. Create stream in Memgraph. Yeah, this guide. So we need a transformation. I think we have an example transformation here. So let me repeat. So inside Memgraph, there is that concept of a query module. So query module can be almost anything. You can run arbitrary code inside Memgraph, and there are a couple of options to write these query modules. There is C and C++ interface, and there is also Python interface. So Memgraph can interpret any Python script and run arbitrary code. In this case, we can easily figure out the Python script that will transform any message coming from Kafka and create queries inside Memgraph. In this particular example, I mean, in general, the transformation procedures are special type of procedures that get Kafka message, or in the future any type of message, and they return a Cypher query out that will be executed against the database instance. Here is a simple example of that, so we'll just use that example and create nodes inside Memgraph. But the whole point with the transform script is also that you can create arbitrary code. You can match arbitrary nodes inside Memgraph, or doing arbitrary filters, because it's not the same if you are creating these nodes and edges. You have bigger flexibility compared to, let's say, relational databases where everything is just a row, and basically you can just pump and like dump the whole line, the whole message directly into a table if it's in a certain format. With let's say edges, it's not that, like, you have to match things and then it's very custom. You have to be very specific about what actually you want to match. But anyway, let's have that simple example up and running. So I'll copy that and save that here. mkdir Kafka. Kafka, and we have transform script, which is called, I know, Vim. For transform module.py, and inside, oh, sorry, inside that we're gonna have MGP. We have okay, let's ignore the formatting now, but basically that will take MGP message, which is Kafka message. Then we got since we can receive messages in batches, we'll iterate through all of them, take a message, then decode the payload into UTF-8 with UTF-8 encoding, and then we'll create MGP record because these query modules returning records, and we're gonna just create a query here which has like a label message and then timestamp, payload, and other stuff that is received from Kafka. Basically, we just need whatever we received that will be stored as payload. Everything else will be added as a metadata. All right, let's save this. Let's go out. Now we have to load that somehow. Since we are in Memgraph, oh yeah, just a side note. So Kafka is executed locally on that port 9092. That's a default Kafka port. I mean, I assume like these things are mainly like we want to make in the first instance Kafka users to be able to very easily digest and ingest data, and that's why we assume users have some experience with Kafka, but to ones that don't have much experience, this should also be possible and should be doable. But yeah, here we have a couple of specific things to Kafka. So first, like the port is 9092. That's a default Kafka port. And yeah, we have that transform module, but it's also important to note that input data. Yeah, so Memgraph, in the next version of Memgraph, will actually have that as a runtime flag. I mean, runtime command. At this point, it's a runtime flag. So you have to connect to the Kafka server when you have to specify the Kafka endpoint when you instantiating Memgraph at the starting point, and you cannot change that later on without restarting Memgraph. That's one thing. And another thing, since we are using Docker again, we have to be able to connect from Memgraph to the Kafka stream, which means we have to define a Docker network, which is host. Use host networking. That's essentially done by adding this flag network host. That's kind of a special case in Docker, but still, these are two things to have in mind. Okay, we have that folder, and plus the query modules. So we have query modules directory, and we have to add that for Memgraph to be able to load the transform module. So let's take that. Okay, 3. Let's stop this instance of Memgraph. Oh, no. Where is that now? Yeah, user bin Kafka. Okay, do I have that? No. Why? I cannot copy that anymore. Okay. I have that in the clipboard. What else I need? Bunch of stuff, but let's do one by one. So Memgraph is now here. Docker ps. We don't need Postgres anymore. So Docker stop Postgres. Docker rama Postgres. Postgres. Okay. And yeah, Docker run minus id minus rm minus host. Oh, sorry. Network host minus p 7687. That's for that. Minus v. And now we'll mount that into, let's say, transform form. So we are mounting that as a, or just modules, doesn't matter. Modules. So we have host, we have port, we have that, and then we need Memgraph. That will take the latest one. And now we need these couple of things. So first we need Kafka Bootstrap servers. Kafka Bootstrap servers equals localhost 9092. Then we need query modules directory equals modules, because there we have our modules. And then I think that's actually it. Log level equals debug. Also log2 std error. Okay, so we have these two. So we have host, we have that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's try and run this. We don't need to publish port. Yeah, loaded modules. Great. We have the module, and I hope Kafka is going to work. So let's go back here. MG transformations yield. Let's see if that's okay. Okay, we have transformation. Great. And let's create a stream. So actually here we can use the latest Memgraph lab feature called auto-completion. Didn't we have that? Anyway, create stream, my stream topics. Which topic? Okay, one more thing. I think I have to create a topic. Kafka run topic already exists. Okay. So topics, topic. What? Topic, topic, transform, and we need that. So it's called transform module my transformation. We can add some other stuff, but some other flags, but I think that's not relevant now. If we execute this query, okay, we can actually show streams, and we have my stream, but it's not running. We can do start stream, my stream. If we run that, then we show streams again. Now we see that the stream is running, and at this point Memgraph is ready to receive these messages from Kafka, and let's try that out. So if I have an empty graph and I go back to the producer, which is here, producer, and I test again, test on the consumer side, I got that. Boom. I got that as a node in the graph. So if I match all, I have one thing and it says test. Great success. Great success. All right. Let's just do another example. Second message. At this point, we should have 3 of them. Oh, maybe still. Oh, sorry, I was in the wrong. I did that in the consumer tab instead of producer tab. We have these 2 now, and if we go here, we have 3, and we run that, and we have this. All right. That's all about import, which is great. All right. Let's do a little bit cleanup here. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this instance of Memgraph. Let's stop it. Okay, Memgraph is stopped. We don't need this anymore. We don't need Postgres, but that's like stop. Docker PS, all is good. All right. Yeah, that's about it. I think, yeah, I spent a bit more time than expected. Anyway, I spent a little bit more time than expected. I think I'm gonna stop here and do the refactoring offline, since that might take a bit longer. And then maybe I record a additional stream about that. Yeah, no questions. Let's check just other platforms. Okay. All good. I think I'm gonna stop here. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and joining. I hope it was valuable. Still, we published the new version of Memgraph, but there is always something to improve, and we'll do that. We'll continue doing so. Hopefully, I mean, some of these options to import data will work for you. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, leave the feedback somewhere. I think it's very easy. And yeah, please, as always, like, share, subscribe. Have a nice rest of the weekend. And yeah, take care and good luck. Bye bye. Bye bye.